What up, crypto warriors? It's Sergeant Crypto back at it again. Today is Tuesday, February 5th, 2019. Boom! Risk more than others think is safe. Dream more than others think is practical. Howard Schultz says CEO of Starbucks, but is actually former CEO because the race for the presidency of the United States. And let's get into it. Definitely going to be going left today, as far as where I would normally go when I'm speaking about cryptos. If you've been following me and been watching my videos, you definitely know that I am all in on cryptos and all in on Bitcoin, and I definitely love the space and what Bitcoin represents. But is Bitcoin going to zero? This article is written by Peter Mullock, and it was written on December 7th, 2018, or published December 7th, 2018, for Forbes magazines. And again, you have to consider who his typical audience is, because he is writing for Forbes magazine, right? So I like to get different point of views when it comes to cryptos, or just anything in general, because if you just get that one-sided view of things, then you're not being open-minded, and you definitely get a lot of confirmation biases and things of that nature. All right, so let's get into it. In my opinion, Bitcoin is dead. It won't go quietly, but the recent precipitous drop may be the beginning of its inevitable and inexorable death spiral, or there could be a dead cat bounce. Either way, I see Bitcoin as a dead man walking. Future generations may read about Bitcoin in a finance textbook as a curiosity and wonder what all the fuss was about. There are still some die-hard adherents exposing the virtues of Bitcoin, desperate to make a silk purse out of a sow's hair. Wow. Unfortunately for them, the end may not be pretty when it comes. So let's see why he thinks this way. Proponents of Bitcoin tend to focus on the impact of the blockchain technology that drives it, and make no mistake, blockchain technology is the real deal. So here he's trying to separate blockchain from Bitcoin, and that's what a lot of mainstreamers out of crypto try to do. When I have conversations with people, they'll be like, "Oh yeah, I like blockchain, but I don't think Bitcoin is real. It's not producing anything," or just whatever they say. They always try to separate the two, but you can't have blockchain without Bitcoin, and there is no Bitcoin without blockchain. All right, they're one and the same, because the truest blockchain in the sense, all right, of the word is Bitcoin's blockchain. The safest and most hard to crack blockchain in existence is the Bitcoin blockchain. All right, every day that the Bitcoin network is staying in existence, guess what? It will become stronger. All right, so every day it's in existence, it becomes stronger. So you can't separate Bitcoin from blockchain. Blockchain is fundamentally changing the way industries do business, from traditional banking to supply chain management. But just because blockchain technology is creating a new paradigm doesn't mean that Bitcoin shares the same distinction. Television fundamentally changed the way the world received news and entertainment. However, it also gave us the likes of of Manimal and My Mother the Car. I don't even know what those shows are. All right, for those who purchase Bitcoin, there are serious headwinds that make it unlikely they will enjoy any profits over the long term. Most cryptocurrency transactions are purely speculative. As of now, yes, it is speculative, but also there are transactions taking place on the Bitcoin network of millions, if not hundreds of millions of dollars every single day. All right, and not just between a bunch of traders and things like that. You actually have people using it in life or death situations, i.e., in Venezuela, Zimbabwe, and in Argentina, in these different countries where their currencies is pretty much dead. All right, and even if a government entity come out with their own CBDC, their own central bank coin, or cryptocurrency from the central bank, or whatever the case is, a Fed coin, whatever it may be, it is still going to be the same thing as a fiat currency, as we see what's happening in Venezuela right now. All right, everyone is going to always come back to Bitcoin because you can't trust a government, but you could trust banks. I said banks. You could trust numbers. You could trust math. All right, banks and governments are run by people, and people tend to be corrupt. In the long run, they may promise certain things, but in the long run, people break promises. But when it comes to the numbers game, or it's just mathematics, all right? It doesn't lie. 2 plus 2 have to equal 4. You can't fake that. You know what I mean? So when you hear, in the case of Iran, trying to come up with their own cryptocurrencies to circumvent sanctions from the U.S., and Russia trying to come up with their own crypto ruble, at the end of the day, it's going to always come back to trust. And Bitcoin is a trustless system, and you can't fake that. Again, you can see everything on the blockchain. You can see all the transactions on a blockchain, and you can't hide that. There's always going to be a diminishing supply. You can't print any more Bitcoin. There's only going to be ever be 21 million Bitcoins in existence. You can't print any more. Unlike with fiat currencies, you could keep on printing it. And if and when governments do actually come up with their own cryptocurrency, it's not even going to be an actual, you can't even say it's a cryptocurrency or a blockchain, because they could print more. It's just going to be a digital representation of what they already have in the form of fiat. Okay, so I know I went off a little bit there, but here we go. There are no real fundamentals to evaluate. Bitcoin doesn't produce any product or services, hire any employee, or pay any dividends. The only way profits are generated is when the owner is lucky enough to find someone else who will pay more for the thing. If you are getting into Bitcoin game, if you are getting into the Bitcoin game now, you are paying the higher price that makes this whole scheme work. That's not a distinction you want. I don't even know. What is this guy trying to, all right. That could be said about stocks as well. You're just, paying a higher price than the person that you bought it from. Or if you're buying it lower now, you're buying it in the hopes of it's going to get higher over a period of time. And yes, some companies do produce things, and they do provide services. Bitcoin does the same thing as well. It is providing a service. In the case of, like I said, with currencies, in the case when it works as a currency, and it is a store of value as well. All right. Let's see what let's go back. Let's go all the way down. Cryptocurrencies themselves aren't going away, and they will likely remain part of the financial landscape indefinitely. But there is very little reason to believe that Bitcoin will be the one that stands the test of time, other than the name recognition it carries, blah, 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 blah. And he talks about MySpace and Palm Pilot. In the case of Bitcoin being a first mover, yes, it is a first mover, and yes, it has a name recognition. And we don't know, if by the end of this year even, that Bitcoin will be the number one as far as market capitalization goes. However, Bitcoin will still be relevant in the future because of the fact that there's different factors for that. You have the diminishing supply. You have the fact that it's a store of value, and we have, you know, Lightning Network that's being currently implemented, and, you know, different second layer solutions. And, you know, who's to say what will happen in the future as far as third layer solution, right? So, you know, I like to, when I talk to people about Bitcoin and they're talking about, the transactions might be slow or whatever the case is, I like to let people know that, well, at one point in time, gold and silver was the main form of money, was the main form of currency. And then the second layer solution for that was paper money, all right? Because, you know, before we came off the gold standard, you used to be able to go to any bank here in the United States and take a $20 bill and get an ounce of gold directly in exchange for that $20. So that was that second layer solution. And then, you know, right now we have debit and credit cards as maybe a third layer solution for currency currently. All right, so who's to say what's going to happen in the future as far as a third layer or a fourth layer solution when it comes to Bitcoin, right? So, but as far as it being, you know, number one in the space, you know, he does have a point there because of all the other cryptocurrencies out there. There are over 2,000 right now, and I don't see all 2,000 cryptocurrencies surviving, you know, 5 to 10 years from now. Maybe the top 50 or so, right? Because they'll have a specific use case, you know, a specific utility for them. But Bitcoin will definitely be in the top 5 always, I believe, you know, if not, you know, bounce between number 1 and number 2, you know, based on market capitalization, you know. But I definitely believe that Bitcoin will stay, you know, very relevant, not only because of the fact that it's a first mover, but once these things get implemented on it, you know, a lot of other cryptocurrencies won't need to exist, you know. And that's just what I believe. But you know, I definitely think it's a good quick read to hear the other side, you know, to see where they're coming from. And this one right here, this article right here is a 20-minute read. It's definitely an older one. This is from 2017, but, you know, a good read again. And, you know, it gives the pros and cons of Bitcoin, and talks about again the transaction fees and things of that nature that took place during 2017 on the run up to 20,000. And so yeah, that's it, man. You know, thanks for watching. I'm going to leave a link to these articles in the description below, and smash up those likes, hit that subscribe button and notification bell, and let me know what you guys think. Is Bitcoin going to go to 0? I don't think so. All right, it's your boy Trezor Crypto, and I'm out. Peace. So crazy.